What's up, guys? It's me, Mad Samurai 84 here, and I thought I would try something new. These last kind of 2 months or so, I've been kind of a little bit crazy on the EShop with the offers. Now, I tend to not really kind of get much on the EShop, but I don't know, for some reason these February and March I have been a little bit busy on them. And when I go into the eShop, I tend to just go for something that's really quite cheap. Always, usually like under 10 UK pounds. I usually go less really. A lot of the stuff I feel like, yeah, I'll give that a go. It's a pound, £2, £3. Yeah, all right, that looks fun. So I kind of got a few in March, and I thought, you know what? How about I do a little video kind of just showing off what I got, what I paid for it, give me a little kind of like mini review of what I paid for it, and kind of like give it a score out of like, you know, of the value for money, because you do notice on the eShop there are a lot of there's a big variation of percentage off. Really, you do come across a lot of games that are 90% off. I've noticed. You can see straight away here that Motor Rush GT is 93% off, and I've downloaded games the last 2 months which the percentages that higher. And it's like, wow, okay. So I thought I'd go over the games I got through March. Not March, sorry, because it is March now, February. I know it's a month late, but I think, you know, I've had quite a bit of time now to kind of play through the games I've got in just February, and that's about 8 or 9 of them. And I thought I'd just talk about what I got, how much I paid for it, you know, give it a score out of 10 of the game itself. The review I'm giving it, it's like I haven't played through the whole game. I've played through part of the game, and you know, I'm basing my opinion on that. And then the value, I give it a score out of 10 of what if I got value for money. And so yeah, I thought I will do that. So all the games you've seen, some of them may still be on sale. And some of them may not be. But if any of them take up your fancy, I would add them into your watch list and make sure, see if they go on sale again, really. Because, you know, there's quite a few games which kind of are worthy of their price tag. So, you know, I would just stick them in your watch list and keep an eye on them. And if they go on sale at a price which you're happy with and you're interested in it, then always get it. So, to start off with, for my February eShop craze, I started with Cooking Simulator, and I can see that is, as of today, that is still on sale. It's still on sale. So for Cooking Simulator, I paid £1.79 in UK pounds. So whatever that is locally, I'm not too sure. But I got 90% off. Its non-sale price is $17.99, which is quite interesting. So I'm just going to kind of like show you a bit of the gameplay, and we're going to just, you know, chat about it. So Cooking Simulator, it's kind of all in the title, really. You are a cook in a kitchen, really. So you've got to make the dishes, prepare them all, cut the vegetables, cut this, cut that, fry this, fry that, bake this, bake that, get the spices, sprinkle it on your meat, and cook your dish within a certain amount of time, and get it to the customer as perfectly as possible. So you kind of get star rated, and you kind of get experience points by that, and which that experience points leads up to you being able to kind of unlock perks and this and that. And it's okay. It's an okay game. You know, the problem is, I find with some of these similar games, a little bit finicky. I noticed with this one, there's so many little pieces to get. It's like when you're trying to play on the Switch, it can be just very awkward. There's so many little things you need to kind of, if you pick up, if you drop, and that it's just like, oh, then I have to pick them up all separately. Like, it's just like, oh. And they haven't really made that much use of motion control, or the touchscreen controls, which, you know, there's only a little bit of touchscreen, and that is when you are looking at your prep sheet, really, on the screen. You can kind of scroll up and down that to look at what you've got to do. That's really the only touchscreen kind of functionality this game has, which is quite poor. It would have been easier and nicer if they really thought it through and really utilised the touchscreen when using it in handheld mode. It would have been much nicer of being able to kind of just quickly select things and drag it along with touchscreen. It would have been much easier and much nicer. But yeah, this game I've played a bit of it. I've got a couple of days in it because it's by the day. You have set X amount of meals you have to make, so you make those. I have yet been able to make a dish on time, but I haven't burnt anything. That's the main thing. So you got to do that. But actually, before you actually make the meals, you actually get to the kitchen and you kind of prep. Whether it may be cleaning your kitchen or whatever, then you cook, and then you have, once you've finished your X amount of meals, you have another kind of like time limit where you get to clean your kitchen. So you have to clean your kitchen, and you have to kind of like repair all your appliances, because they will eventually go into kind of disrepair after being used so much. So you have to make sure that you keep everything spick and span and working, so you can kind of create the best meal you possibly can. So yeah, it's an okay game. It's very finicky. There's a lot going on. I don't think they've kind of really utilised the Switch of where they can make it very quick and easy for people to use. Just like, well, one thing that really bugs me about this game is the little store you go into. There's a little store where you purchase all your spices, this and that. It's so awkward. You have to select the item with the 8 button, and then you have to press X to buy it. Why can't I just move up and down? You know, just have it highlighted, and then just press the buy, instead of having to select it and then buy it. That just bugs the hell out of me. Another kind of real annoying thing with this game is the collision. The collision is all over the place. It's absolutely shocking. You know, I put stuff on a baking tray, and then I go to pick up the baking tray to put it in the oven, and you can clearly see the items sitting on the baking tray, but as soon as you pick it up, it's just that they fall through the baking tray and they're on the table. Then you have to pick up each item individually, which is a pain in the backside. You know, I've had a salt shaker stuck into my frying pan when I've taken it to the cooker. It's just like there's so many little bugs, and just when you're actually using the cleaning mop, it kind of gets stuck and caught and goes a bit funny. And the spatula I've had I thought I lost the spatula once, but it ended up it kind of falling through the table, and it was kind of in the wall underneath the table, and I had to get it out there. It's just like, but it's an okay game. It's something you can just easily dip in, dip out, and work there if you don't want to do, because that's just the normal kind of like campaign mode, really, where you go through and do that. And you can also kind of upgrade your kitchen. I haven't been able to upgrade my kitchen yet, but I suppose you can change parts of your kitchen. So the floor, the tiles, this and that, you can change all that. But I haven't got there yet because I'm still not that good. But if you don't want to do that, there is a sandbox mode. So when you go in the sandbox mode, you've basically got all the vegetables, you've got everything kind of at your disposal, or you can do it. And You're kind of freely to just make and do whatever you want. I haven't been able to see any like recipes. I did find a recipe book, well, which looked like a recipe book, but you don't open it, so it doesn't give you anything. So it's a bit like, what was the point of that? But yeah, you can just kind of go crazy and just do it through on. But I ended up just trying to put my a gas canister into the oven to blow it up, and trying to put metal objects into the microwave, and that didn't really go that well. Really, kind of, I just busted the kitchen. But this is an okay game. You know, I only paid £1.79, so I'm not too miffed. So if I was to kind of score this game, it's a bit interesting because when I look on its wiki, on its reception, it's got a Metacritic rating of 64 out of 100, which I can probably understand. It is a little bit, you know, it's easy to go in, but it's something that's just not great. It's not that great. That's why I would give the game score a 6 out of 10. It's an okay game. It's quite fun. You can just dip in and do it and stuff, but it's just, you're not going to have a lots amount of fun. It's just, you remember, it's one of those similar games. There's so many similar games, especially on that Switch eShop. I see so many on there. So I only paid £1.79, but I think the value for the game I got for that value, I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. You know, it's not an excellent game, but it's an okay game. I know I got 90% off, but you know, there's far better games out there at good percentage off, and yeah, I just feel like there's so many issues with this game, but it's an okay game. Now, also, what I didn't mention earlier is I've been playing it. I've tried the game in both handheld and dock mode, and I want to give my opinion of what I feel like this game runs better as and what it's kind of easier to play as. And I feel like this game has been better to play in handheld mode than in dock mode. You think, oh, well, shouldn't that be? Wouldn't you think it'd be easier to be using your Pro controller? Like, no, I've been having more fun using using in handheld. I found it a bit more easier to kind of get used to, and because you can use that little touchscreen kind of functionality on your prep sheet, it kind of makes it a little bit easier. So handheld mode for Cooking Simulator. Now, my second game for this video is Welcome to Hanwell. This is a kind of like a first-person horror-esque game. I don't know why I bought this. I'm kind of like terrible at these horror games. But, you know, I thought, hey-ho, why not give it a go? You know, I paid £2.49 for it at 80% off. Its non-sale price was $12.49. So I got a big healthy discount for it. I think I got a nice healthy discount for it. But yeah, it's a horror game. You just got this open world, this Hanwell, I assume it is. You know, I've played a bit of it, and but I've been playing the other modes of this game. I've been getting into that. But I have to say, I feel like when it comes to these horror games, I really like these kind of walking first-person horror games. No, I have to say now, you know what, they're not for me. They are not for me. I prefer if it's a horror game, I prefer a nice, like, proper action horror game. That's what I really enjoy. I find it more fun. I'm just a bit crap at the horror games. It's just a bit like, ooh. And this one is quite jumpy. One of the main issues I have with this game, it's not that pretty of a game. It is pretty ugly on the most part of the game. It is a bit of an ugly game. It is. It kind of controls fine. It is. You know, it has got a nice control feature when you're sprinting. You can, I think it's is it the LZ or the L button, if I remember correctly? It's gone from my head. You look back while you're sprinting forward, which is quite nice, and it adds a kind of bit of tense because you kind of get chased and all that stuff. So yeah, that was that. It's an if you're into these games, it's probably an all right game. But this one, it just didn't really resonate with me. It's a bit ugly. I did really get annoyed that when you go into the pause menu, you can't actually use the analog stick to move up and down on the pause menu. You have to use the D-pad. But there's only two options. There's continue and main menu. There's actually no settings at all in this game, so you can't change the brightness or whatsoever if you're playing in docked mode. You have to change the brightness on your TV. So and there's some parts where it looks a bit like too dark, of like something doesn't look right. You're like, what? It looks a bit like you would think in most games. There's not even audio settings. You would think you would put in some sort of audio settings and some kind of brightness settings, but this game doesn't have it. But what this game does have, that's the kind of single player, which I'm don't really care for. It doesn't really bother me, but it has two other game modes really. And the first one is Escape. I'm terrible here. I've played a little bit of it. Basically, you have to collect these 10 TNA canisters and keep out of the way of this big brute, really. And when I've always played it, I've always kind of died very quickly. But there's that. And then there is Survival, which I've actually played quite a bit of and I've quite enjoyed. There's 3 different maps. And basically, you have waves of these creatures. And you have to kind of pick up a weapon. You start with a weapon, and you can put it down and pick up another one. And basically, you have to just kill all the enemies, and it goes from one wave to the other wave, and they kind of build up. It usually starts off with spiders, and then you get these kind of weird walking creatures, and it gets all a bit creepy. But that I found that mode very fun and very entertaining. But this game is pretty good on its atmosphere overall. It does set a kind of a scary atmosphere. It's just not a pretty atmosphere, really. So yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. But I wasn't expecting much of it. It is what it is. I didn't pay that much. That's why I think when I look, so reviews, it's got a 6 out of 10 on Steam. It probably looks better on Steam, to be honest. It probably does. But I just didn't think it was a great game, and that's why out of 10 I'm going to give this game a 5 out of 10. Really, it's nothing special. So as I paid £2.49, 80% off, I think my value score, I think it was for the game. It gives a good value to some people. I did enjoy that mode more than I was expecting, and that's why I think I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 for the value I paid for it, because I do quite enjoy that survival mode, but overall I'm not a big fan of the game. And if you're playing this game, I feel like I'm torn between. It kind of plays all right in docked and in handheld. So I'm going to say both. You can play it while it docked and handheld, but I play it mainly docked, and I found it probably plays a bit better if using a Pro controller. It is a bit better, so we'll go with docked as the preferred mode of play. Now, my third game of the video is Escape 2088. This is, you see there, it says it's an old school escape room game set in a futuristic cyberpunk world. And you know what? I have to say, really enjoyed this game. I paid £2.39 for it. It was 25% off. Its non-sale price is $3.19. So this is on the lowest end of percentage off. But I got it because I kind of thought it would be quite fun. So the game is nice. You're in these nice little kind of rooms. Really, it is a bit challenging. The first room is the most challenging of them. Then I felt like the other rooms got easier. The main problem with this game is too short. There's just 3 rooms to go through, and once you've got through that first room, The other rooms are pretty. I found pretty simple. I got through very quickly. The first room took me a bit of time, but I got through it. But it's a very enjoyable game, and I really have to say, this has very good touchscreen functionality. I really like playing it handheld. It was very good. It's very well done to use, and it's that I literally 99% of the time of me playing this game, I played it touchscreen, and this is the type of game which needs to have touchscreen functionality. It's very good, very enjoyable. It looks nice. It's you just in these nice little rooms, and you have just to figure out how to get from one room to the next to get outside and get out of there. So it's very good. I really enjoyed it, and really recommend it. If I really would like more rooms, really, I would want them to do a sequel and have more rooms to go through. Really, that is the biggest bummer I've had with this game. So I'm going to give a game score, a review score of it. I feel like I really enjoyed this game. That's why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It's actually quite surprising. But my value score is very low, like 3 out of 10. It was not great value for kind of the amount of game I got. It was pretty disappointing, to be honest. But a very enjoyable game, and I really enjoyed it. And as I'll kind of slightly say, I think that the best way to play this is in handheld mode because of the touchscreen functionality. It's much better to play it. Now, my next game is City of Brass. It's a single-player, first-person dungeon crawler with procedurally generated, Arabian-themed city, interconnecting corridors, courtyards, and rooms. I'm just reading that off Wiki, but as you can see there, and it's from senior developers of Bioshock and stuff. Yeah, I kind of saw this game on a video, and I was like, "Oh, that looks interesting. I'll give that a go. Why not?" I only paid £2 and 2p for this game. I got 85% off. Its non-sale price was $13.49, so I got a pretty half decent discount of it. And I thought, yeah, why not? That's a pretty good price. But the game is actually not a bad game. It's pretty tough. Literally, you have the selection. You're able to select through 6 different characters. You only have 2 to start off with. And they all have their different attributes and maybe use slightly different weapons and stuff. But one of the main things that a lot of them have is a whip, really, and you use the whip quite a bit. You can whip these skeleton creatures in the face, or you can wrap your whip around them and bring them closer. There's all these traps on the floors, on the walls, everywhere in this game that you have to kind of keep watch of, really, and you have to kind of just go through the level while collecting gold, and you just go from one level to the other and go as far as you can, and then gain XP to unlock more characters. One thing that really bugs me about this game is the whole thing with the collecting of gold. When a piece of gold's on the floor, you can't just walk over it and you collect it. You have to look at it, highlight it, and press was it Y? Yeah, press Y to pick it up. That is so annoying. Why can't I just walk into the gold, pick it up? A nice little thing is if you can use your whip. You can throw your whip at a gold at a certain distance or a certain height, and you can collect it. Yeah, that's fine. But if it's on the floor on a table, can I just jump on it? Can I just walk over it and I collect it? Why do I have to actually press a button to collect it? A little bit annoying and frustrating. So yeah, you have to just go through these levels. There's plenty of traps, plenty of areas for you to go through. And then there's all these little stations where you can kind of upgrade yourself, or you can get a special ability, or you can kind of stop all the traps from kind of working and all that stuff. or even kind of get a little bit more health, because you're surely going to lose a lot of health. So you've got all these little genie stations. And it's all right. I'm not the greatest at it, but I've kind of quite enjoyed this game. It's not a bad little game. It came out in 2018. I was like, oh wow, okay, I never heard of it. And it's on its Metacritic, on the Nintendo Switch version on Metacritic, sits at a 75 out of 100, and I can see that quite reasonably. That's quite a reasonable score. It's an okay looking game. It controls quite well. It's all right gameplay wise. It's fine. You can easily jump in and jump out anytime you want. You don't have to constantly like, oh yeah, I've got to get to the end. It's just quite an easy, simple game to jump in and jump out. So that's why my game score for it is going to be a 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty good. It's not amazing. It's a nice game. And I think the value score I'm going to give it is going to be a 7 out of 10 as well. I think it's a good game. I got a very good price for it, so it's had a nice blend together. And my preferred way to play this game is docked. I preferred using a pro controller. Really, I kind of felt uncomfortable using it handheld. It really didn't feel that comfortable, really. With the controls, so I advise putting it docked and playing it with a pro controller. It's far more enjoyable. So next game on the video is The Messenger. It's a 16-bit style action platformer, side-scrolling. I paid £8.99 for it at 50% off. Its non-sale price is $17.99. So many people have talked about this game, and you know what? Now I've been playing it, I can understand why. It's a really, really good game. It looks great. It sounds great. It plays great. It's very solid. I've really been enjoying this game so far. It's kind of like on that kind of Metroidvania kind of like level design, not level design, but you go back and forth through the level, through the game. Really, I think I haven't tried to go back to the beginning, but I assume I might be able to go to a certain distance, which I am to. But I've been really enjoying it. And you can see like how this has been really inspired by the Ninja Gaiden series. It really has, even kind of like down to the look of your ninja. Really, it's really good, and this adds a nice little kind of character, because like every time you die, you have this little demon called, I always get his name a bit awkward, Quarble. I'm gonna just pronounce it as, but because as you go through the game, you pick up these shards which you use to upgrade. And if you die, he comes along, and basically every shard you pick up, he takes, and he'll take X amount before he buggers off again. And I've seen him a lot. I've seen him around me a lot. He's taken a lot of shards off me, I have to say. But yeah, this game is really, really good. I've been really enjoying it, having a lot of fun playing it. That's why I'm going to give this as a game score. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. It's a very good game. I really recommend it. For a value score, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. Purely a fact because I only 50%. It's a great game. But would I pay a full $17.99 for it? No. $8.99. Well, that's probably the highest I would ever go. But I would prefer a little bit lower. But this game is really good. My preferred way to play this is handheld. It plays much better handheld because I think this graphic and the controls, it's much easier and nicer to play at handheld than in docked. So yeah, definitely handheld for The Messenger. Really recommend this game. Okay, next on the list is Broken Sword 5: The Serpent's Curse. I've never played a Broken Sword game in my life. I remember seeing it on the PS1 back in the day, and I just never played it. So why not start at number 5? I paid £6.24 for this game, which was about 75% off. Its non-sale price is £24.99, and I have to say, what a great game! I've been really enjoying this game. It looks nice. It plays nice. The story is very interesting. I don't know why I've never played a Broken Sword game really until the Switch. Now I'm very intrigued of maybe looking into kind of having a look at the previous ones in a way. Whether I might probably prefer to play on PC than the console, I'm not too sure. But Broken Sword 5, really getting into it. The one thing I haven't liked about the game is the kind of the poor touchscreen controls in handheld. Yeah, you can use it, but it's not. It doesn't work very well. You're still better off just using your analog stick to move around and interact with things. So that's very poor on the developer. Really, they should have done much better implementing handheld touchscreen controls when you're in handheld for a point and click adventure. Really, it's a point and click. So you would think you would you would get down pat the touchscreen, but it's not. It's not great. I tried using it and I thought, oh yeah. I want to start using it, and then I realised that when I was using it, there was a lot of stuff I was missing. Like just certain options. It's just a bit like, oh, okay, that's not good. But anyway, getting rid of that. The game is very good. I've really been enjoying the story, and yeah, it's this originally. When did this originally come out? Episode 1. Okay, because this was episodic. I can't actually remember this. The original episode 1 came out 2013. And its retail it came out on the Switch only in 2018. So it's not been out on the Switch, but it's not a new game in a way. But yeah, it's very enjoyable. And when you look at its kind of Metacritic scores, actually, you know what? It says episode 1, episode 2. Is it just 1 and 2 episodes? It's let's just say the Metacritic. It's got a score of 69 out of 100 for the PC version. When you're looking at episode 1, it's that. It says episode 2 Metacritic. It sits at a 72 out of 100. It hasn't got a for what platform. So let's just give it a roughly. It's got a 70 out of 100 on Metacritic, roughly across for the whole game. Well, I can understand that. I've really been enjoying this game. I've been really having fun because I've never played it really, and I just felt like, it was just really fun. What? The only thing that probably looks a bit janky is probably some of the kind of like character animations and stuff. Might look a bit janky, but I've looked at them because I've really enjoyed this game. I have enjoyed it. It's just a shame about the touchscreen controls. That's really bothering. So, but I feel like if I'm going to give this a score, my game score is going to be 8 out of 10. Really, I have been enjoying this game. Value score, I'm going to put I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I got a pretty good price on it, I feel like. And I feel like I've got quite a pretty half-decent game on my hand for the price I paid. My preferred way to play this is in handheld. Much better than playing it on docked. I just feel like, just looking at it, and even you try use the kind of touchscreen if you want, but I feel like handheld is where to play this game. We're nearly there. We've nearly done all the games. So the second to last game is Sniper Hunter Scope. I paid a good £2.69 for this, 80% off. It was a non-sale price of £12.49. Now, this game, I have really been enjoying it. It has really brought back some memories. It's very like an arcade style shooter. I was kind of getting a bit of feelings of Silent Scope. There was the arcade game, which was great, and then the PS2 game, which I thought was great. The Silent Scope series, it was nice. Also, it kind of brought back, feelings of, like Time Crisis and Virtual Cop and all that stuff. It's really good. Basically, you're a sniper for the most part, so you've just got to and just shoot all the enemies and just kind of build up your multiplayer and try and get a biggest score on that level as possible. And you've just got to build up this score bar to unlock the next level. And there are some kind of like first-person, like kind of shooter levels, or kind of like third-person levels of you going through levels. So you just literally go through those areas. You don't move. You technically don't move apart from your kind of your reticle. Really, you just aim and shoot and try to take out the enemies as quick as possible, getting a larger multiplier to get a higher score. It's really good. This game has gyro controls. I haven't really used them. I tried to use them, but I just not me. I kind of want to give the gyro controls another go. I tried it on the Pro controller, a bit sucky. I tried a bit on the Joy-Con, and I sucked at the gyro controls. But really great game. So enjoyable. It's so much fun. You can just jump in and just take out enemies, and you know what? And you're just trying to kind of get a better score. Really, you're trying to like build up cash so you can buy a better weapon, so you can take out more enemies quicker. You less reloading, this and that, and it's just really good. And you've got all these other, you can slightly slow down time or throw a grenade and all that stuff. So it's a really good game, really fun, and I feel like I got a good price on it. It's quite hard to find a kind of proper score for this, but on Metacritic, its user score is sitting at 8, so it's pretty solid, and it is a very solid game. That's why I'm going to give this game a game score of 9 out of 10. I'm really enjoying it. A lot of fun. Its value score, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. Really, you know what? Maybe that's a bit harsh. Really, oh no, I'm going to change that value score to a 9 out of 10. Why not? It's happy days. Let's do that. This game is really good. My preferred way to play this game is handheld. It's I really enjoy it in handheld mode, but prefer it way more over than docked. It's just really fun. Really, you can sit there and before you know it, a couple of hours pass and you've just been trying to get better score on a certain level. So yeah, really recommend playing this game. Here we go, my next game, Planet Alpha. I paid £1.59 for this game. It was 90% off. Its non-sale price is $15.99. I remember kind of seeing this in videos ages and ages ago, and I was like, well, whatever, I just missed it. And when I saw this in the eShop, I just saw the price and went, yeah, okay. I didn't realise it was that game. I just went, yeah, okay, that's a good price. And you know what? I have to say, been really enjoying this game. It's an action platformer, 2D style, but in a 3D world. I have to say, I've been really enjoying this game. The one thing I have to say that I feel like is really good about the game is it's what you see in the background of the game. You get put into you're in this alien world and you've got to go across it. You've got to traverse, climb up and down. You know, you've got to sneak past killer robots or killer creatures and this and that. But this game is really beautiful to look at at the background. Really, it really is. What I have noticed with this game, there is a bit of a difference in. You do see a bit of a drop in quality and graphics to handheld and dock. It does look a bit more fuzzier handheld, I noticed. And then when you put it docked, it kind of does smooth out a lot of those jagged edges out. But the background is great and the platforming is pretty solid. I've been really, really enjoying this game. And you know what? I would love an actual proper 3D version of this world to explore, because there's some fantastic scenes in it. It just looks amazing. The creatures, the plant life, the stuff that's going on in the background. It's really, really wonderful, and I'm quite surprised at how much I've been enjoying this game. Yeah, quite amazed at it. So that's why I'm going to give this as a game score. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because I've been enjoying it so much. My value score is going to be a 9 out of 10. I feel like I'm getting a lot of value out of this game. And my preferred mode to play it, I have to say it's handheld and dock. Really, both I've really enjoyed. It plays well in both modes, you know. So my final game of the video is Moonlighter. I paid £6.74, or its close equivalent into different currencies. I got a 70% off this game. Its non-sale price was $22.49, and you know what? This was the first game I was kind of like I was just playing, and I literally kind of the hours disappeared on me. I was just got so into this game. It's unbelievable. So it's a kind of like a dungeon crawler. It's a role-playing kind of action game, but it's like a dungeon crawler. So you're in this town and you're a shopkeeper, and basically there are these dungeons, and you have to go into these dungeons to basically collect items to sell in your shop. So during the night you raid dungeons, you kill enemies, you try to get to the end to take on the boss so you can unlock more dungeons. So there's all different levels, so you go through that, trying to collect the items, and then either you exit the dungeon or you die. Really, that's what you have to do. So it's all about timing and having the right amount of health. And then when you get to your shop, you put your items out, and you have to select the prices that you want to sell these items at. And that's all a bit of like chance, really. You're kind of testing the waters of what you can charge for items, and you've just got to go get your money, and you've got to build up this town and build up your shop, really, and kind of make it kind of a more of a place, really. You'll have a shop that does enchantments. You have a kind of a blacksmith, a shop that does this, does that, and then you can do upgrades in your store. So you've got more tables, so you can sell more items. You know, you can upgrade your cash register, so people will leave more of a higher tip. You upgrade your bed, so you get more health and armor and this and that. It's an excellent game. It looks beautiful. It plays beautiful. It sounds beautiful. It's not an easy game. I still haven't got past the first dungeon. I've been really getting engrossed of kind of collecting items and getting into my shop and selling it and building up and trying to build the town up, really, and trying to find more items to upgrade and build better weapons and this and that. So yeah, I kind of get to the boss, I get near the end, and I die. So I feel like I'm nearly going to step up and get to the next dungeon. But I've really been enjoying this game. It's really, really fun. And I feel like these are one of these games where I'm like, oh, I would love a physical copy of this now in my collection. I'm really enjoying it so much, so that it's that much. I'm going to buy it twice. Really, I'm going to have a digital version. I'm going to have a physical version. I'm a little bit annoyed because I didn't realize there was DLC and there was a complete package which was for sale as well. But I've just got the standard version I paid for. So a little bit annoying, a little bit bummed out that I didn't get the full package with the DLC, because I've really been enjoying this game. It's it's very, very fun. It's very, very easy to control. The controls are really good, and you can just jump in and jump out. What I have to say is, it is a bit of an inventory management, really. Especially when you're in the dungeon, you only have X amount of slots in your bag to carry, and you're coming across. But what you can do is you can get rid of items by putting them in this little glass, which kind of gives you which gives you gold. So you're doing a lot of this stuff. You're a lot of managing it, and stuff that you can't take. You're like, all right, well, I'm not going to take stuff, but you know what? I'm going to put it in this, and I'm actually going to get some little amount of gold for it. And that's what that's what I spend a lot of time doing as well, is kind of managing it and what's the best items I want, and what are actually the items which are in demand, really, which people want, because that's what you get told as well, of like what items are wanted by people, And running in the shop is great because you are constantly having to try move prices up and down, or try and find that sweet spot where people will pay the highest price for something, so you get more bang for the buck for the item you found. And sometimes you put something too low and people have got a score, so next time when you get that item, you've raised the price up, and this and that, and you have to watch out for thieves who come in. You have to kind of tackle them so they don't steal your stuff. But yeah, really, really good game. When I'm looking on Metacritic, it's sitting at an 83 critic score, which I can see that it's a really good game. I've been really enjoying this game. That's why my game score, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I feel like I've been enjoying this game so much. It is excellent. Its value score, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 as well. I really feel like I've got a lot of value out of this game. And I feel like the price I've paid for the kind of enjoyment I've got is top notch. My preferred way to play this has been handheld. I like playing it on docked as well, but I feel like handheld, it's great handheld, so I recommend playing this on handheld mode. So that is all the games I bought in February and I've been played. Overall, I spent £34.94. So I spent quite a little bit, really. I went a little bit high on high ticket items, I would say, with my kind of £8.99 purchase of Messenger. The total price of it on sale would be £141.11. So overall, I've made a 75% saving. Really, I've made over £100 in savings, which is pretty good. I feel like I've got a good mainly value for my money. I got quite a lot of games which I feel like I'm going to be playing for the next couple of months, like dipping in, dipping out. I feel like I've made some good all-round digital purchases. I'm more of a physical purchaser, but I just thought, why not? Why not? I'm going to get into it. So yeah, I've got quite a few good games. Some a little bit lesser, but mainly an all-round very good month, I feel. So that's it for this month's video. I've got some more games that I've downloaded in March. I've kind of downloaded I've kind of went a bit crazy, so I'll probably be doing something maybe later this month, more early next month. Probably get a little bit, get out a bit quicker of the games I bought this month and the prices I paid and my scores. So let me know what you guys think. What games have you bought in the last month or so? Which you feel like you've got a really good value for money? It's really nice. I really enjoy the EShop. You get some really good value in here for some really great games. I have to say, there's some really nice stuff. So I recommend just always jumping in there and seeing what you can get, because you can get some stuff for a pretty good price. So let me know what your thoughts in the comments are, what you bought, and what I can do to make this video better. Anyway, please like and subscribe to the channel. And until the next video, take care and look after yourselves, guys. Goodbye.